Hey guys, so today I'll talk about the internet services in general. So there are two main networks here in Canada in terms of internet. In fact, you can say three, but I'll just name it, right? Rogers and Bell, right? And then Telus is also there, but for home internet, it's mainly Rogers and Bell, right? These are the main internet service providers, right? And then there are other players, right, who use the lines of Rogers and Bell to provide their services, right? That wasn't the case before. Like few years ago, you just had Rogers and Bell as the option, right? But with time, I think things changed or certain laws changed, which allowed these players, to come in and provide their services, right? So then what happened is the competition, right? The competition among these different service providers kicked in, and then the race to provide the best deal also worked in a way for the consumers, right? So, so initially, when it was only Rogers and Bell, right? So it was like a monopoly, and the rates were on the higher side, right? Like I remember even paying like $80, $90 for a regular plan, right? Um, so the reason that I'm sharing this or making this video is to let folks know that there are other service providers as well using the lines of Rogers and Bell who are offering reasonable competitive prices, right, for the same speed. So just do your research. You will get those deals time and time again, right? Maybe a couple of months or definitely year end you will get it. So you could talk to the agents, right? Either Rogers or Bell agents. They would still, provide you a good deal, amongst those two players as well, right? I used the services for Rogers and Bell directly on a good deal, right? So it's not the end. So it's not like you know they offer very high prices all the time. It's higher, but still you can talk to the agents and get the best deal, right? So in terms of the other service providers, right, it's more or less the similar rates that they provide, like Virgin, right, CanNet, then Caritel, Start, Tech Savvy. Um, there are a lot of service providers. You can just Google it and you'll get it, right? And more or less the rates are the same. It's so what you need to consider is in your area what is the best for you. So you need to research, like talk to friends in the neighborhood. They'll tell you, right? Like I know some of my friends living on the west end, right, the west side, Hamilton, Oakville, that area. They mentioned that I think in some parts, in some pockets, right. This is not in terms of home internet, but the cellular networks, right? They said Rogers is not that great, right? So that's why they are sticking with Telus. Rogers is okay within Toronto area, but then when you move out, you need to really know which provider has better service. So that's the consideration that you need to keep in mind to talk to people or know what is good, which network is good in that area. Although this is not like a priority one, but it's a good to know. And then, yeah, I mean, this is now all personal choices, like fiber internet versus the DSL internet. So that's up to you, right? So fiber is little expensive compared to the DSL cable. So what happens with the DSL is the jacks usually go in those telephone lines, right? That telephone jacks or the ports, right? So the speed is capped when you use that service. Okay. Um, at the time they mentioned that it's usually capped at 50 Mbps, but sometimes you could get more, but that's generally the cap. But with the fiber internet, you can go up to 500 Mbps or even 1 Gbps or higher, right? So the limit increases there with the fiber internet, and of course, right, depending on your house, how many devices you use, you can select, right? Um, Also, sometimes, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but where the ports are in your house, right? Where is the Bell port? Where is the Rogers port? So it becomes sometimes important to know, although it's not going to affect your decision, but yeah, if make sure the Wi-Fi works, right? Or every device is Wi-Fi compatible or has a Wi-Fi service, right? If you need to use a cable or a LAN cable, then yes, you would require that port to be in that room, right? So, like in my case, in the living room, there was no Bell port, right? Only Rogers. So apparently, when the construction had started for this, not just this house, but the whole neighborhood, right? Probably they had a contract with Rogers, and then they installed Rogers mainly. So my house has more Rogers ports than Bell, right? So need to rearrange accordingly based on which service you need. But yeah, I mean, nowadays every device has Wi-Fi service or Wi-Fi compatible, so it should not matter that much. But yeah, this is just another point to consider, right, when picking your service provider. So bottom line is there are many service providers. So do your research, what is best in your area and the rates, and keep trying, right, the different deals. So when I say deals, it's generally for one year, right? You don't get an indefinite deal, right? So they offer 50% credit and for 12 months, right? Or upfront discount they provide for 1 year, so that you don't need to track the credits, something like that. And then close to your expiry of the promotion or the deal or the offer, you need to call them and see what best deals are available at the time, right? So one thing which you can do, which is helpful, is you can look for deals in the November-December time frame, or any other time during the year when there is a deal happening. I'm not sure other times in the year, but November is your Black Friday, and then December is Boxing Day, right? So there's offers going on all the time. So fix a deal during that period, so that when the 12-month period ends, you're still in that holiday or the deal season, right? So whatever deal you're gonna get, it's gonna be good, right? And it's gonna be in the same rates. Like for my case, I just had to call them. In fact, I recently called them, and they just matched the price, right? Whatever I was paying, the same thing was applied for the next 12 months. So I didn't have to change providers, not pay any fee, or do anything. You need to sometimes talk to the loyalty department, because the representatives, the first line, the front line folks, they want talk about the details. So either sometimes they transfer you over to the loyalty department, um, or you need to tell them to transfer to the loyalty department right away, right? To avoid wasting time or being on the line for a long time, right? Waiting. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So you may need to try other tricks, like, if you find another deal in the market and you have a backup plan, an option, then you can just tell them, right, I have another deal and I want to end my services. If they entertain you, then you can negotiate a deal, or they can directly transfer you to the retention department, right? Customer retention department or the loyalty department, right? As I mentioned, and they'll try to retain you, offer a better deal, and something can happen there, right? So, but generally speaking, yeah, you shouldn't be paying more than 50 or $60 a month for internet services here, unless your requirements are high end and you have like a lot of devices and you need high speed internet for whatever reason. Then it's a different story. But typically, if you just have a couple of devices and just a TV and your workstation and a couple of phones, then you should not be paying more than $40-50 a month, right? For a decent 50, 75, maybe 100 Mbps speeds average. In deals, you could even get like 500 Mbps. Like, I know people have gotten for 500 Mbps for, I don't know, $25, $30 a month, and that to direct Rogers, right? But that was a couple of years ago. But I just want to mention that these are the kind of deals that I'm talking about, right? So yeah, that's about the internet. So I'm just sharing because when I started off, I didn't know about all these things. I used to just go whatever plan is out there for Rogers and Bell. In fact, whatever was available online, maybe sometimes booked online as well. So that's something is a learning. So once I realized that other players are there and there is something called deals and offers and promotions and retention, loyalty department and stuff like that, then you feel that you missed out on these deals and you could have saved a lot of money. So that was the intentional motivation to share this information, so that it becomes helpful for the people who have not yet bought a service, or they're not yet aware of what I talked about. It will be helpful for them, right? So that was the only intention. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, then hit that like button, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and bye bye.